tuning into the Black House Fire Radio, and you're listening to Yes, Massive Wagwa. I'm the Robinson, your Jamaican brother there, reaching out to all the massive on the African continent, and you're tuning into the Pan-African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Joby, from Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. Andrew Robinson, love, respect, and justice for all. Big up, man.
Pejeno toka kwanza kawe siarifu pegea inasindwa sabundani ni kachini toba inatonjo na pori meja kichele kuna kulet jom kanipata mbele cheza na njuku jo kishikilia kamoke tegea wa kimoku mbio mbaya kama mbapo tunachoma liva na tuko kuiva tunaiva logia mamziza afu kando ni madiva dance ya side dance ya side just more dance ya side dance ya side dance ya side dance ya side just more dance ya side dance ya side tendili ni msote kuri mamwera yes man tuko juu ya lele ni legit na mapapol his ndo maana tukomboka na tupigi kelele chagua moja ma white widow tuwashika kilo ID4 wakuti wanati kijifanya mweri unakatwa gingi bad boy basi area zote sare kushtuku kiona niko kichele sisi yao tume master plan ndo maana tuko mbele yani better than check it down sema insider up day one na designer tutatucheki kama insider super boy kitu kwa cherry minder that's your side love that's your side just more love that's your side that's your side
Utaitaji spinal
that's your side
lap dance
that's your side just more love that's
Wagwan people. Good afternoon. Yes, karibuni sana to the Blackwood Fire Network radio station. This is the media of the 21st century. My name is Joby, in case you're here for the first time. 18 minutes past the top of the hour. Let me know what's the time on your end. It's the 4th day of September. Hope you're having a wonderful one so far. Mine is great, I can't complain. Seems like literally the rest of the year has literally amazing things in store. Manze. Oh yes, karibuni sana. Good afternoon, grand rising to everyone who's just tuning in right here on the Blackwood Fire Network radio station via YouTube, on Twitter, on our Rumble page, on BitChute, on the show page, on the radio station, on Spreaker, on Spotify, and also on TikTok. Shout out to everyone at Cheki Kilam to Apo Karibuni Sana. Shout out to the chef. Shout out to Don Karibuni Sana. Kindly feel free to tap the screen, share this amazing live, and also follow the live creator, of course, to catch these amazing shows right here on the Blackwood Fire Network radio station, because I promise you nothing but the best. I promise you nothing but the best. Shout out to Unsunken One. Karibu Sana. Peace to you too. Hope you're doing amazing. Hope your week is fantastic. I don't know if you are at work or at home, but kindly let me know what's the time on your end, wherever you're listening to us from. And of course, how is literally the year of 2024 been so far for you? And you've been actually a host. You've been a host, I do believe, for the longest time right here on Blackwood Fire Network. And one thing I've been asking people, especially since the beginning of this new month, let us know what would you love us to change in terms of maybe our shows, our programs, in terms of presentation. What's different would you love to see? Shout out to Jiba Jaba. He said he wants to see much more of spiritual shows. And of course, on Monday, we went a little bit deeper into that. And we're looking forward to actually also go deeper today, remember, on the network. That is tonight on the Africa Today show. But Karibu Sana, let me know for those who have been here for the longest time on Blackwood Fire Network. And maybe if you've been a new member, and you've catched up with a little bit of our shows, let us know what would you love to see different. For those who are with us on Rumble, on BitChute, on our show page, on the radio station, and also on our TikTok page and YouTube and Twitter page. Karibuni sana where today we shall be discussing about where Africa does not let outside, or why does Africa let actually outsiders prize our resources. And we know we have a China Africa summit, which we did debate a little bit on yesterday, and we saw a few African presidents actually are on board already there. They landed there on Monday. The summit of course supposed to start today, and I do believe it has already started because I'll be showing a video regarding some of the things which are being called mutual development gains, and this is through cooperation between China and Africa. We shall see what benefits Africa gaining again, because this is the 9th summit, remember? And the question I did ask yesterday is that if the 8 other summits you guys have been attending and the agenda has always been the same, cooperation, mutual benefit, how comes we're still stuck in the same place? China has moved way ahead, while Africa is still stuck in the same position. DRC Congo is still highly being exploited. Kenya, we can see our national parks are being taken over. Our Kenyan president literally has gone to take more loans. Our infrastructures are very poorly constructed. So what are we talking about? What is this 9th China Africa bullshit summit is supposed to be helping us with? Because it's a bullshit. And that is all discussing yesterday about the weak presentation of the African continent. Despite the world it has, we have weak presentation of leaders, but we shall be talking about that because we shall be discussing about what is happening in Uganda, where I can see Bobby Wine actually has been shot, and we shall be discussing, of course, what happened, what really took place on that, because I have no full details. It's not really fully indicated of what really took place, why he was shot, but they claim that he was in his way on his way somewhere, and apparently he was raided by the police, and through all that struggle back and forth, he ended up being shot. We shall also discuss about a jailbreak attempt that was in DRC Congo, which has actually led to more than 100 people being killed. And this, I feel like this is some funded project or another funded way of people to actually get out, because this is not a pardon. These people trying to attempt to get out of DRC Congo jailbreak. And mind you, this is a country that has been actually flocked with so many rebels who are being funded from different countries like Rwanda, Uganda, to cause destabilization in DRC, to be specific, and also other African countries, because this is not just all about DRC. I shall be sharing also a documentary coming from Burkina Faso, and a shout out to Ibrahim Taremanze. I'm so proud of this guy. I'm so proud of the bold movements he's really making. I'll be sharing a documentary that I was watching yesterday at night, which actually is showing us steps that Ibrahim Traore has taken so far, creating job opportunities, and how he's actually managing to tackle the terrorism in his country. I didn't know that actually Burkina Faso already had acquired some drones from, I think, China, if I'm not wrong, according to the documentary. But I shall be representing that as top of our discussion, and where the need of us, why we need to protect our resources, because last week we saw, or during the weekend, Ibrahim Traore did nationalize 2 mining sites. So why is it that other African countries cannot do it? So karibuni sana, that's our top discussion for today. Hope you guys get to enjoy. I began with an amazing jam. Of course, it is on a Wednesday, and I'm feeling like that, hyped a little bit. But of course, even on a Wednesday, shout out to all the ladies. It's always a ladies' day, literally. But we don't celebrate ladies just only on Wednesday. Every single day, shout out to the moms, shout out to the sisters, everybody who's making it outside there, manze. Kwa kujituma sana sana. Shout out to you. But this is actually, yes, karibuni sana once again. 26 minutes past the top of the hour, and this is the Pan-African Police Show. My name is Joby, for those who are here for the first time. Shout out to Mr. Blackout Fire. Shout out to Caro. Shout out to everyone on right here on YouTube. Unsunken on, I see you. Everyone live with us on the Twitter page, on the Rumble page, on BitChute, on our show page, on the TV. Hello, guys. And to everyone live with us also on the radio station, on Spotify, on the Spreaker Live. Literally, we're everywhere. Like flies, we say kamanzi. But my quote of the day before we get started, it says, always remember some days are better, some days are worse. Look for blessings instead of the curse. Be positive. Remember, though, the blessing term does mean be less. So I don't know how you can turn that abundance. Okay, look for abundance instead of the be less, if that's how I'm gonna say it literally. Be positive, stay strong, get enough rest. I'm heavy on get enough rest. I'm heavy on stay strong. I'm heavy on every time. As a human, of course, negative thoughts are gonna hinder you or maybe try attack you, but try change that with a lot of positivity. But it also says you can't do it all, but you can do your best. Try do your best, and that's what I literally say every single day. You're a human being. You're allowed to sometimes, you know bend. Sometimes you're allowed to be, all the way spread your wings like a butterfly, literally. It's life. As you discover yourself, as you discover other people, it's life. So don't be too hard on yourself. Try be easy on yourself. And that is literally to Africans. But on this one, we need to fight. We can't just do it just by being silent and not understanding what is going on, especially when it comes to our what leads and makes our lives. That is politics. Again, I love going back to how we've been not taught how politics is our daily bread, literally. That is our daily bread that we were taught it was misused in the Bible. This politics is our daily bread because this affects literally our economy, it affects our food, it affects everything, how I move, it affects literally everything. If a decision today is made right there in this summit, China Africa summit, that now next Africa will need to be on a lockdown. I don't know. I feel like, okay, let me not go there. But yeah, if they say we're going to be on a lockdown, this is politically a political agenda, so we need to be concerned. But before we get to all that, I don't want to get deep. This is the show. What is happening in Uganda? I see that Bobby Wine has actually been shot, and that is on his one of his leg, and clear details have not yet been given according to most of the mainstream medias. I see what really happened, but I'm going to share this for those who are live with us on StreamYard.
Opposition leader Bobby Wine was shot in the leg during a confrontation with police near Kampala, according to his party, the National Unity Platform. Video footage captured the moment when Wine, visibly injured, was helped into a car by supporters after the incident in Bulingu, Wakiso district. The exact nature of the projectile that caused the injury remains unclear. The police stated that Wine had defiled warnings against holding a street procession, which led to the altercation. The National Unity Platform condemned the incident as an attempt on Wine's life.
So that is in 2026. Uganda is supposed to be going for an election. And of course, rumors to majority of the Ugandans, which we also kind of not sure about it. Rumors have it that either the son is going to take it, either it's going to be Bobby Wine is going to take it, but definitely it's going to be Bobby Wine. And I feel like this is actually just a way. I'm trying to understand what is really happening right here. I don't want to jump into conclusion without first understanding what is happening, because it's not really clear what really happened, why he was being arrested, because I don't believe there was any demonstrations. The only demonstrations I saw yesterday, actually, that was not on the mainstream media, in Uganda, women were demonstrating naked. They had no bras on as a form. I don't know, I can't remember the clear details, but they were demonstrating naked yesterday, and some of them were arrested. Of course, those who are participating, they were arrested. So I'm not sure what is happening in Uganda currently, due to when it comes to the opposition leader, that is Bobby Wine, because like I said yesterday on the culture show, and understanding the opposition leaders role, they are all here just paid to create a distraction, to make you feel like Africa is being led towards hope, and we can't live by hope, because we need actions. And that is what, according to the documentary I'll be sharing coming from Burkina Faso, I love the way that guy was breaking it down, and also the people, the love. You would see videos on TikTok, the love that people have for the Burkinabe junta is just super crazy. Like, it's just evident that he's really making things move is not just talking about it, is not just selling hope, but literally moving towards action. But still in Uganda, as we get to continue, there is this amazing athlete lady who has actually right now been sent to the hospital. That is after the husband set her on fire. And she is 33 years old. And they're saying that the Ugandan athlete Rebecca Cheptegei is in the critical condition in the Kenyan hospital after allegedly being dosed with petrol and set on fire by former boyfriend. By the former boyfriend. Yeah, by the former boyfriend. So this is just so crazy. They're saying that the 33-year-old marathon runner who competed at the recent Paris Olympics had suffered extensive burns, and the doctors treating her were the ones giving this information. She also was attacked at her home, that is in the western parts of Kenya, where she had been training, and the concerns about increasing cases of violence against female athletes in Kenya, and some which have resulted to death, are on increase. And Miss Cheptegei is said to have been rescued by neighbors after the incident that happened on Sunday at her home in the small town in Nthabiseng. And this goes back, this is why I talk about again poor leadership, where we have ministers of sports. We have ministers, literally this was one of the guys who are actually removed from the cabinet. Is it the cabinet secretary? No, I'm not sure. But we have ministers of sport, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. I'm not really much invested information on that. And these are the people who are supposed to be actually ensuring the security of this. The fact that they know the cases have been on the rise, the fact that they know this has been happening to athletes, there's nothing they have done to safeguard the life of these athletes. Because there's a time I debated about this, and we're having an argument actually with Dimore off camera. Well, like about the guy who died a mysterious death. This guy just died a mysterious death that till to date, even the media itself, again, because we have a poor shitty media, mainstream media, they don't follow up stories, they don't cover full stories, because those who are behind these stories are the mafias who are controlling them. Personally, I don't know what these athletes majority are always linked into, leave alone even the relationship part, but even politically oriented. Like, I don't know what these athletes are always actually involved in once they get in here. I don't know what literally, but majority of them also do come from wealth, including land, cattle, animals, and a whole lot of things. We're talking about literally the Kericho people, talking about the Kalenjins. Yeah, a lot of literally communities, but I'm not sure what athletes in Africa, to be specific, because I'm not sure. I've had only these cases in Kenya and Uganda. I'm not sure about other African countries, but if it is happening in Kenya, trust me, it is happening, of course, in other African countries. Because what affects us, what affects me it's affecting someone else, and that is something we're not taught again. So this is so sad to see that actually someone who you're supposed to be trusting, you guys making your world together, growing up together, is the same person who's gonna end up actually trying to kill you and betray you, man. Women, make your choices right, okay? Make your choices right. Okay, your safety comes first. That is something I'm always gonna insist on. Even when you're with a group of friends, don't literally trust your friends so much. Like, trust yourself first before you put your trust fully on someone else. Like, hey, they're gonna take care of me. Nah, you should have yourself first. So this is just so sad, but I hope she's gonna fully recover. I hope that bastard of a man literally ends up where he belongs. And such kind of people are the main reason why I say we should not have pardoning in prisons. As we go to DRC Congo, these are the same people why I say we should not have any pardons of all, because the president right now didn't do anything for the country. No development, no infrastructure, no water irrigation, nothing, no schools, no hospitals, nothing, no employment. All they can do best is just release a couple of prisoners who have not even yet suffered the consequences of what they did, literally, like facing the consequences of what they did. A rapist. I gave an example with that woman, was it a woman or a man, who came from prison and immediately started revenging. Wrote a whole list of 10 people who sent him or her to prison. And immediately, within few days, had already murdered 2 and said 8 more to go. So tell me, how many angered people do we have outside here? You're going to keep on giving pardons or releasing them in prisons. These are the type of people who should actually not be allowed. You should never see light. Okay? You're going to eat in the dark. Not even shower, my friend. You're going to stay there and rot there, because your behaviors are rotten. So we're gonna treat you as you literally portray yourself rotten. This why I kind of admire the brutality that the US government literally has, the laws, and this is why Africans cannot, and majority of them end up in prison even there, because the laws are super strict. You go messing around, you think this is Africa, where there's no strict laws for you to follow. I kind of admire that, because that is what I was saying yesterday. Africans need to have that attitude. You need to have that attitude to be able to be listened to move. You gotta know who you are, literally. But shout out to Keith in the building. Shout out to John Mosquito. John Mosquito, grand rising to you too. Hope you're doing amazing. Keith says, be careful who you let in your life. Exactly, Manze. Because personally, being honest, I've gotten to the point where I don't and I can't, and I can't. Atisizui, come on a date, man. I'm so scared of even meeting new people. Trust me, I've gotten to that point. Like, I'm so scared of making new friends. I'm so scared. I'm okay with the small circle I have, and if possible, fine. If I can't be with the circle I have, I'd rather be alone. But I've gotten to the point where I just can't. I was even asking someone yesterday, am I pushing people away, or is something wrong with me? They're like, nah, you're growing. It happens, you just know what you want and all that. And I'm like, yeah, I do know that. But this is like, because nah, I just can't tolerate even stupid talks on phones. What do you want? And basically, that is what I feel like Africans, you need to stand on you being an African, number one. Your identity, how it is so disrespected. You need to stand and act like, hey, I'm a boss where I come from, okay? I in the land where I come from, there's a lot of goddamn wealth and resources. It's crazy, man. But I also see John Mosquito says, Juby, who hurt you? I'm not hurt. Am I talking like a hurt person? Oh my god. I'm just giving you guys oh my goodness, John Mosquito. Let me leave you alone. But anyway, I'm just saying, I don't like when men are pardoned personally. Not even men, even women. If you've committed something that you're supposed to be serving a prison of 10 years, let those 10 years be served. I don't know why you've been pardoned in the second year just because a president didn't deliver what he's supposed to do for the country. That is what Uhuru did. And among those 5,000 pardoned prisoners, we had one who had an agenda of revenging, not starting a life a whole fresh, not trying to get opportunity. No. So in DRC Congo, this happened the same. Not a pardon, but an attempted jailbreak, which has led to 100 of them being killed. So they're saying that an attempt by inmates to break out of the high security prison in the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kinshasa, has led to the deaths of 129 people, and this is information given by authorities. And the Interior Ministry said that 24 prisoners had died of bullet wounds after warning shots were fired in the early hours. That was on Monday morning. Most of the others died on the suffocation as a result of crash during the breakout at Makala prison. And despite the reports of mass casualties emerging on Monday, the government had initially said that only 2 people had died. 7 years ago, at least 4,000 inmates escaped from the prison that is in the country's largest prison. And on Monday, people living near the prison spoke about hearing gunshots, but attempts by journalists to reach the site were thwarted by police officers who blocked the access in the area. So this is just so crazy. This is super insane. But personally, I do not. I believe there should be a strict measure. There should be a strict measure on how our prisons are run, number one. This is why when we talk about, I feel like nepotism is part of why we have poor, should I say services? I don't know. Poor services, because we have people who have been given jobs and they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. They can't deliver, literally. They're just in positions because they need that monthly salary. But if we had people who have passion for the positions that they are being given, you'd not allow such kind of bullshit to happen. And actually, I do support the killing of those who are trying to break out of the jail. I actually support it 100%. I will never support a criminal, never, ever in my life. I'm never gonna support a criminal. I don't care what you did. You are a criminal. You ended up where you are because you are a criminal. And you should serve whatever you should serve as one. So I do support the killing of those who have been killed, literally. And I do believe this is an alarm to, I don't know, whoever is in charge of security in Africa to find more better people to put in this position. But this will not happen until we have an Ibrahim Traore type of military. And that is where I'm getting to. Let me share this video very quickly. Which is super, super amazing. I was watching this yesterday and I was super impressed about Burkina Faso's transition. It is just super amazing, literally, to see. It is amazing to see how it's like, I feel like I was trying to understand Ibrahim Traore and how he got to the position where he was, right? I'm this child in Africa who has grown up in a country which knows no peace, okay? And continuously I'm being told we'll never know peace. And that as we're being told we can't know no peace, we're experiencing not knowing peace, where there's terrorism back and forth, there's funding which do not get to us in terms of food. And I'm tired. I'm growing up getting tired personally. I'm being fed up. So I feel like what Ibrahim Traore did is he did his research on a couple of the previous Pan-Africans who have tried to lead Africa in a better way. Did maybe a couple of more research of maybe what we don't know, the secrets they did. Again, when to pull the card, when to know when to poke your master, don't outshine your master, those kind of laws. I believe he understood a whole lot of things. And then I believe he got into military on purpose. I'm trying to understand Ibrahim Traore, because getting to this position you are in as a junta, for you to confidently outthrow the president, because we do have this military. Come on, we have them in Africa, in every African country. Why is it that they can't, like what happened in Kenya? It was so easy for these people to outthrow Ruto. When people actually, the numbers were so big, the military would have easily taken over if they really wanted to. But I also believe it's how you trained, and I don't know. I'm trying to understand. But Ibrahim Traore, I believe he got into military with an agenda, and he knew confidently, boldly, he will one time become a leader of this country. Because this video is explaining so many how he took every step. This is someone who has studied not only the system, but he understands literally his position and how he's going to use it. Man, I really, man, I want to go to Burkina Faso. I don't mind being a second wife at this time for just Ibrahim. On that, I wouldn't, because he knows, number one, how to take care of his people. That is just the number one agenda. Because right now, if you try look at polygamy, it can't work because we have leaders who are more about themselves, not leaders. I mean, husbands who are more about themselves. They're selfish. They're marrying two wives for selfish reasons. Cheating. You can't take care of children. Just want to have more children. Show how you are an African giant, but for bullshit, you know. So let me share this very quickly. This documentary very quickly with you guys. Okay.
That was Burkina. Imagine a country where terrorists control entire cities. That was Burkina Faso in 2022. But now, the military is fighting back with a new strategy. We'll show you the technology that's helping Burkina Faso reclaim its land from extremist groups. On September 26, 2022, Burkina Faso faced a terrible attack. A convoy of 207 vehicles was traveling from the capital to...
Karibu sana, Mr. Blackwood Fire.
Sana, Jumpy, how you doing today? Good?
I'm okay. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Understand, family, the never peace in Africa is because of the white man and the middles in Africa that they steal. Keep and their vicious savagery. They don't care. They keep people unstable, murdered. So the only was going to happen when the African man started to stand up again. So Ibrahim Traoré is the African man standing up. He's only 35. Now he's 36. He's turned 36. My fault. So all these criminals who are in power have been in power since he was a little boy. All these criminals in Africa, all these puppets, had these puppets in power before he was even born.
Exactly. I mean, like, how do you keep on telling me that, things can't change, while I see there was an attempt of things being changed before, you all just stopped these people. So I feel like that is actually, I was trying to understand when I was watching this video, I'm like, man, this guy is so smart, and I'm trying to understand this smart move, because majority of the coups we've seen them, not the coups, but literally the true declaration of democracy, the reason why they fail and they end up going back to the civilian rule is because majority of these people, I think they lack strategies of how they should move forward. They are not properly planned. You're just taking over without understanding who you're dealing with, the power you're dealing with. So I do believe Ibrahim Traoré is. He didn't just, despite him being, in the position he is, it's like he studied literally all these people's movement from childhood.
You got to study the power that you're going to decide that you're going to overthrow. He knew you could never get democratically elected in Africa as a freedom fighter because all the levels are controlled by the white man. So only coons, like in America, only coons and sellouts get to these positions. Because already did this selections. Why the white man put that fake democracy there? It's fake. It's phony. So he knew you could only come to power as a real leader in Africa with a coup. Because the whole system is designed for white people to steal, keep Africans impoverished, keep Africa fucked up and underdeveloped. That's the damn scam that's going on. So in order for you to overthrow that scam at some point, you're gonna have to be part of the military, and you're gonna have to have a successful coup and take power. See, you're going to take it. Can I have it, please? No, you're going to take power. Say when the white man came and took Africa, you're going to take it back unapologetically. Then you're going to put up levels of defense because they're going to have every dumbass African in your immediate area come to try to overthrow you because most Africans are dumb as shit and unloyal.
I admire how he boldly said, this is a war declaration. Yeah. Anyone who dares step in this country trying to say, 1, 2, 3, no, this is a war. You're declaring a war. And I just love that we barely see this kind of movement in these African coons. They're like, we're sorry, that is Museveni. I like Museveni. Museveni is always one time, the West is doing this, then the next minute, we can't survive without you. I'm like, bro, which stand what is the confusion? What is this confusion movement with the, you're making
Not a
people
confusion. He's their puppet.
exactly. I know,
Gone too far.
making
Shut
people
his
all be
damn mouth.
confused, not trying to understand history and how these powers also work. 1 minute is talking shit about them, the next minute is also praising them, the next minute is neutral. He doesn't know
Before
his
they lost,
stand.
going back and forth before he lost the power. He knows not to go too far on his masters, or they'll get rid of his ass.
But
So it's a purpose. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, let me share this video very quick. It's a little bit long, so I want us to just listen, maybe give a few points where we can as we pay attention to it.
Jibo when Al-Qaeda terrorists ambushed them. The result was devastating. 37 people lost their lives and 70 truck drivers went missing. This attack showed how weak Burkina Faso's security really was. The ambush left the country in shock. People were scared and angry. They wanted to know why the government couldn't protect them. It became clear that terrorists had too much control over parts of Burkina Faso. The country needed a big change to fight back against these extremist groups. While the nation mourned, a bold response was brewing. Just 4 days after the devastating convoy attack, Burkina Faso would experience a dramatic shift in leadership that would change the course
And
of
all
its fight
these
against
terrorists have
terrorism.
been funded by the United States
On
and Europe.
September
All of them. None of them got no jobs. None of them got any money. They're all funded by the CIA and the fucking goddamn Mossad and the no good fucking MI6 of Europe and France. That's who's funding the shit.
Mm-hmm. And the saddest
Isn't
part
it
is that
funny?
this is
They never seem to have terrorist attacks against the damn mineral mining areas that the white man runs in Africa. Isn't that funny? Never seen that terrorist attacks against the mine.
only Africa we have terrorism. It's only Africa we have terrorism. In India, we don't hear terrorism. In China, we're not hearing terrorism. In the US, the same. In Mexico, apart from all this illegal whatever, but still, it's just crazy. This is just so crazy. I'm saying, with all the funding of all this terrorism in Africa, all because of resources, it's crazy how it is all the citizens, American citizens, and this American the American tax money, and the tax is also now being used, you can see, in the bullshit of their own agenda. This just shows again the level, I don't know, trying to understand again the people who control this, political class, let me call it that. It is just so, it's crazy. It is mind-blowing. I always find it mind-blowing every single time.
30th, 2022, as the country was still reeling from the recent tragedy, a group of military officers led by Captain Ibrahim Traore took swift and decisive action. They launched a coup that would reshape Burkina Faso's approach to national security. The operation began with Traore's faction securing the state television station. This strategic move allowed them to control the flow of information and prepare for an important broadcast.
Exactly. You always get the TV.
The coup plotters
TV is mind
quickly
control.
moved to take over key military bases throughout the capital city. Their actions were carefully coordinated and executed with precision. Loyalists to the previous leader, Lieutenant Colonel Damiba, found themselves outmaneuvered and disarmed. The coup forces gained control of crucial armories and communication centers, effectively cutting off any potential resistance. The takeover extended beyond military installations. Important government buildings, including the Ministry of Defense and the Prime Minister's office, fell into the hands of Traore's group with minimal resistance. The element of surprise worked in their favor, catching many off guard. The final and most significant target was the presidential palace. Using intelligence from sympathetic insiders, Traore's forces successfully infiltrated this symbol of power. With this, the coup was complete and a new chapter in Burkina Faso's history had begun. Captain Ibrahim Traore wasted no time in addressing the nation. He declared, "The hazardous choices of Lieutenant Colonel Damiba have progressively weakened our
You let
security
them know,
system."
goddammit, I'm taking the fuck
In
over.
view of all these
The new
abuses, we have
goddamn
decided
day.
today, September 30th, 2022, to remove Lieutenant Colonel Damiba from state power in order to pursue our common ideal with all the people of Burkina Faso, namely the restoration of security and the integrity of our homeland.
Yeah, he's another goddamn
These
puppet.
words
We got rid of
resonated
his
with
ass.
many Burkinabe
And we're
who
about to put a bullet in
had
his fucking
grown
head.
frustrated with the ongoing security crisis. Traore's promise to restore security and rebuild the military struck a chord with a population desperate for change. He acknowledged the critical shortages in weapons and equipment that had hampered previous efforts to combat terrorism, vowing to address these issues head-on. The public reaction to this sudden change in leadership was mixed but largely positive. Many citizens saw it as a necessary step to address the dire security situation. There was a sense of relief and hope that spread through the country. Government officials joined in, hailing the operation as a significant milestone in the fight against jihadist insurgency. Traore's administration didn't just make promises, they took immediate action. One of their first major operations was breaking the jihadist blockade of Djibo, a city that had long been under siege. This successful mission not only provided much-needed supplies to the besieged city but also served as a powerful symbol of the new government's commitment to action. The success of this operation had a profound effect on national morale. It boosted confidence in the new administration's capabilities and gave people hope that real change was possible. For the first time in a long while, many Burkinabe felt that their country might be turning a corner in its fight against terrorism. This bold response to the security crisis marked the beginning of a new era for Burkina Faso. Captain Ibrahim Traore had promised change, and now the world was watching to see if he could deliver on those promises. The fight against terrorism in Burkina Faso was far from over, but a new chapter had begun, one filled with renewed determination and hope for a more secure future. With the country in crisis, Captain Ibrahim Traore knew he needed more than just determination to fight back against the terrorists. He needed weapons, and lots of them. But where would Burkina Faso get the firepower to take on well-armed extremist groups?
Yeah, how are these extremist groups well armed? How are they well armed? How are these fucking extremist groups well armed with no fucking money, with no businesses? How are they well armed? I wonder how.
Across the world.
Magic.
China stepped up to support Burkina Faso in its
They're doing their voodoo. They do their voodoo and weapons appear. The African witchcraft and weapons disappear.
Several shipments of weapons and military supplies right away. This quick response from China showed just how serious the situation in Burkina Faso had become. The country needed help fast, and China was ready to provide it. But what exactly did these shipments contain? And how would they help Burkina Faso's military fight against the terrorists? The first deliveries from China arrived packed with modern weapons. Burkina Faso soldiers received new rifles and machine guns, giving them better tools to defend their country. Along with the guns came plenty of ammunition and other important military equipment. As soon as the weapons arrived, Burkina Faso's military leaders got to work. They quickly sent the new guns and supplies to soldiers fighting on the front lines. This fast action helped boost the fighting power of Burkina Faso's army almost overnight. Before these shipments, Burkina Faso's soldiers often found themselves outgunned by terrorist groups. The extremists had better weapons, making it hard for the army to protect people and take back control of the country.
How? Ain't that funny? The extremists had better weapons. And if you just pick up one of the extremist weapons, it'll come right back to the fucking United States and the J's that control this motherfucker. Okay? It'll come right back to the fucking United States or Europe and the J's that control Europe and America, to the Rothschilds. Okay? That's where the fucking weapons will come from. That these terrorist groups somehow get with no jobs and no businesses and no fucking money. Go ahead, Joe.
The modern rifles and machine guns gave Burkina Faso's soldiers a fighting chance against the terrorists. Now, when they faced off against extremist groups, they had the firepower to fight back effectively. This
And
helped
remember,
level the playing field
remember,
in the ongoing
the new weapons that they did buy got blocked by America. Supposedly we're going to help you with your terrorism, but they blocked them from the weapons that they've already purchased because it's the Americans that's fucking creating the destabilization there. So they keep stealing them the gold and the other shit out of Africa. You get it? Where the Americans trying to stop terrorism? All that bullshit is a lie. America and Europe is behind the terrorism. France,
battle.
England, they're behind the shit. So good people, go back and nationalize your shit. You motherfuckers don't own shit in my country. I own. Go ahead, Joe.
For control of the country. One of the biggest impacts of this new equipment was seen in the fight to break the terrorist blockade of Djibo. This city had been cut off by extremist groups, leaving its people without important supplies. But with their new weapons, Burkina Faso's army was able to fight through the blockade.
One thing I picked from here, because of the destabilization in the country, majority of the people cannot even develop their lives. So there's a lot of bicycle riding and motorbike riding.
Exactly, Joe. You can't develop in conflict. You can't educate yourself in conflict. That's why Africa's been underdeveloped more than any other continent. And all the wealth is in Africa, everybody's stealing it, stealing the wealth, and causing all these damn killings. You want to be king, and you kill this person, kill that, all that shit throughout Africa. Because these savages create this destabilization because of their hatred for African people and their greed for African resources that makes their lives better. At the expense of Africans. That's what it's done. And they come back, oh, we're there to help the dirty African. He's a moron, this filthy nigga. He don't know how to do anything. He's a dummy. And we're there to help him. You got all these goddamn NGOs in Africa. Why they don't help shit? Because they're not supposed to. It's all a scam. You know, it's what we say as we kill these dirty niggas riding on bikes.
To Djibo.
Dirt ass road, everything's dirt.
This successful mission did more than just help the people of Djibo. It showed everyone in Burkina Faso that things were changing. The army was getting stronger, and they were starting to win battles against the terrorists. This gave people hope that their country could become safe again.
And this is what you want. Understand, fam.
Delivery of these weapons.
Pause that, Joe. When you understand this, you want an army battle hardened. That's how they get experience. You don't think Ibrahim Traoré better learn. He better not put his army on his. You want as his army gets better, they become battle hardened to experience. It's hard to build an army, guys. It takes years because it takes experience in the field. So his people are getting experience in the field, so they become battle hardened. So me, with a battle hardened fucking army, learning, I'm taking over all Africa because all African armies are fucked up. Not battle hard. All they do is fight their people. They ain't fought no real battles, not no real shit. Motherfucker, I'm going to I'm going to other bootleg countries. I'm taking it over. That's me. I'm be honest with you. But a battle when your army gets battle hardened, motherfucker, I'm going through you like a warm night through butter. I'm taking over. You got a French face in Cote d'Ivoire? I'm coming to see you, nigga. You helping the enemy in Benin? I'm coming to see you, nigga. I'm coming to see you. Because once I get a battle-hardened army, you out of here. And when I take it over, I'm incorporating you in the Burkina Faso. Of course, the white world. Oh my God! What did they do? They're taking over other African countries. Nah, cracker. I'm uniting Africa. I dare you to come take it. Talk your shit on your internet. Talk your shit in your media. But you better not step your ass up in Africa. You don't got the numbers, cracker. I already told you. I'm incorporating Benin. I'm incorporating Cote d'Ivoire. Bring some more traitorous ass niggas that you put your bases on, and I'm gonna go in and take their ass over. That's what you do.
How well Burkina Faso's new leaders could work with other countries. Captain Traore and his team managed to get the help they needed fast, proving they were serious about fixing the country's security problems. For the people of Burkina Faso, seeing their soldiers with new modern weapons was a big deal. It made them feel like their country was finally fighting back against the terrorists who had caused so much fear. The sight of eloquent soldiers gave many people a new sense of pride and hope for the future. But getting new weapons was just the start. Burkina Faso's military leaders knew they needed to use these tools effectively to really make a difference. They began planning new operations, using their improved firepower to take the fight to the terrorists. With new weapons in hand, Burkina Faso's military was ready to take on its biggest challenge.
And then they find the UN, the UN, America was telling them to stop. Don't wipe out the terrorists. That's a crime against humanity. What the fuck are you talking about? You wipe their ass out. That's how you know they're sponsored by the UN, the fake ass United Nations. That's a corrupt criminal organization. Talking about don't wipe the terrorists out. The fuck are you talking about? Because that's their terrorists. America's terrorists. Once you get them, you wipe their ass. That's the 48 laws of power. Once you got your enemy, you wipe their ass out viciously. You wipe their ass out. And you make sure you do it viciously. You leave nobody alive. That's one of the 40 laws of power, baby. I'm wiping your punk ass out. And none of you will be allowed to be alive. There ain't gonna be no jail. Ain't gonna be no prisons in fucking, ain't gonna be no jail of terrorists. Oh, I put them in jail in the prison. Nah, fuck that. Only prison they gonna be is in the ground. That's their prison. The motherfucking burial plot. They in there. You wanna visit them? Visit them in the goddamn graveyard. Because I'm wiping everybody out.
Food and hope. But Captain Traore's new government had a plan to change that. On October 21st, 2022, a large group of soldiers and trucks set out from the capital. Their mission: to break through the terrorist lines and bring help to Djibo. This wasn't just about delivering supplies. It was about showing the whole country that things were changing. The road to Djibo was dangerous.
And this is how wicked the European is. They never talk about this is how wicked the European is. He calls death and destruction so he can steal. That's how wicked the European is.
The soldiers were ready to fight back with their new weapons. They moved carefully, always watching for any signs of trouble. As the convoy got closer to Djibo, everyone held their breath. Would they make it, or would the terrorists try to stop them? The soldiers stayed alert, ready for anything. Finally, after a long and tense journey, the convoy reached Djibo. The sight that greeted them was both heartbreaking and hopeful. Thousands of people lined the streets waiting for help to arrive. Many looked tired and hungry after months of shortages. But there was also joy and relief on their faces as they saw the trucks rolling in. The convoy brought more than just food. It carried hope for a city that had been cut off from the world. The trucks were loaded with grains, cooking oil, and special food for children who hadn't had enough to eat. As the supplies were unloaded, soldiers took up positions around the city to keep everyone safe. This successful mission was more than just a delivery of food. It was a big win for Burkina Faso's new leaders. They had promised to make the country safer, and now they were showing they could do it. The news of the convoy's success spread quickly across the country. In the capital, people celebrated. Government officials called it an important step in the fight against terrorist groups. For the people of Djibo, the arrival of the convoy meant they could finally breathe easier. They had food to eat and a sign that they hadn't been forgotten. But the mission also sent a message to the terrorist groups. It showed that Burkina Faso's military was getting stronger and wasn't afraid to take them on. The battle for Djibo wasn't over yet. The convoy had made it through, but the city was still surrounded by dangerous areas controlled by terrorists. The soldiers who came with the convoy stayed behind to help protect the city. They knew that keeping Djibo safe and connected to the rest of the country would be an ongoing fight. This successful mission gave people all over Burkina Faso new hope. They saw that their new leaders were serious about fighting back against the terrorists. The convoy to Djibo proved that with the right planning and equipment, Burkina Faso's military could win important battles. As news of the successful mission spread, more people started to believe that things could get better. The government used this boost in morale to plan more operations against terrorist groups. They knew that breaking the siege of Djibo was just the beginning. There was still a lot of work to do to make Burkina Faso safe again. The battle for Djibo showed that Burkina Faso was entering a new phase in its fight against terrorism. With new weapons, determined soldiers, and a government committed to action, the country was starting to push back against the groups that had caused so much fear and damage. For the first time in a long while, many people in Burkina Faso felt like they had a real chance at peace and security.
You wipe them out!
Burkina Faso's military had new weapons and success in breaking the siege of Djibo, but they still needed a way to find and stop terrorists before they could attack. The answer came from high in the sky. The country started using advanced drones to watch over its land and people.
Like Niger Mali said, oh, we got to call the French before we go attack the
Burkina Faso got some of the best drones in the world, including the Turkish-made Bayraktar TB2 and Akinci. These flying machines changed the way the country fought against terrorist groups. The Bayraktar TB2 drones are really good at watching large areas for a long time.
Burkina Faso got the drones. Oh, the Americans and the Europeans. Those are their terrorists. They got mad.
Looking for any signs of danger. This makes it hard for terrorists to move around or plan attacks without being seen.
They can't hide.
The TB2 can also hit targets with great accuracy, which helps the military stop threats before they become bigger problems. But the real game changer was the Bayraktar Akinci drone. This drone is incredibly powerful and can fly very far. It can go over 10,000 kilometers, which means it can follow terrorists almost anywhere they try to hide. The Akinci is also very tough and can work in all kinds of weather, from very hot days to high up in the mountains. These drones gave Burkina Faso's military new abilities they never had before. They could now see what was happening in places that were hard to reach on the ground. This helped them make better plans and keep people safer. One of the best things about these drones is how accurate they are. They can hit small targets without hurting things or people nearby. This is really important when fighting in areas where regular people live. The drones help the military stop the bad guys without putting innocent people in danger. The drones also made the soldiers feel better about their work. Knowing they had these high-tech helpers in the sky gave them more confidence. It showed that Burkina Faso was serious about using the latest technology to protect its people. We saw how well these drones worked during an attack in Manila on June 1, 2024. When terrorists struck, the military quickly sent up their drones. The Akinci drone flew to the area fast, helping the soldiers on the ground know exactly what was happening. At night, the TB2 drones kept watching, making sure no terrorists could escape in the dark. During this operation, the drones did more than just watch. They helped guide soldiers to the right places and even hit some terrorist targets themselves. This mix of drones in the air and soldiers on the ground worked really well. It helped the military stop the attack and catch many of the terrorists. After the Manila attack, people could see how much these drones were helping. The military said, "The swift and decisive actions of the air forces combined with the relentless pursuit of the ground forces have significantly weakened the terrorist networks operating in the area. The use of advanced drone technology combined with coordinated ground assaults has proven to be an effective strategy in combating these threats. These drones are now a big part of how Burkina Faso protects itself. They fly over the country every day, watching for any signs of danger. This constant watching makes it much harder for terrorist groups to operate. They never know when a drone might be looking at them from high above. With these eyes in the sky, Burkina Faso is better prepared to keep its people safe. The drones have given the country a new way to fight back against terrorism, making it harder for extremist groups to hide or plan attacks. This new strategy is helping Burkina Faso take back control of its land and protect its citizens.
Why didn't the French and the Americans say they was helping terrorists to give them these drones? America's got the best drones. Why America didn't give them those drones to fight these terrorists? And Britain and Europe, why they didn't do that? Because they're the motherfucking terrorists. That's why.
About to face their biggest test yet. On June 1st, 2024, the peaceful town of Manila in central Burkina Faso suddenly found itself under attack. Terrorists targeted a key military position, hoping to catch the government off guard. But this time, things would be different. As soon as news of the attack reached military headquarters, they sprang into action. The Akinci drone, one of Burkina Faso's most advanced weapons, took to the skies. This wasn't just any drone. It could fly for hours
And
and
now
see
what
things
you
on the
do,
ground in
Ibrahim,
amazing detail.
you take it apart, you take it to the schools, and you teach those kids how to make that shit. You reverse engineer it so you're making your own. The time for Africans to be stupid has got to be over. You take one of them, you take it to the school, you let the kids take it apart, look how it works, and they reverse engineer it so they know how to make it themselves. Days of you not knowing how to do shit is over. You learn how to make the shit yourself. You take the technology and you teach the children how to make the technology themselves. You reverse engineer that shit. So now you know how to make your own goddamn high-powered, high-equipped drones yourself. You reverse engineer it. Go ahead, Joe.
Terrorists didn't know what hit them. They thought they had the upper hand. But the Akinci drone changed everything. From high above, it could see exactly where the attackers were and what they were doing. This information went straight to the soldiers on the ground, helping them make smart decisions quickly. As the fighting went on, the terrorists realized they were in trouble. They tried to run away, heading east towards the Serba
Hey,
River.
for Africa not having technology, not know how to do shit, that's got to
No
come
matter
to an
how
end.
fast they moved or where they tried to hide, the drone kept track of them. The attackers got more desperate. They jumped on motorcycles thinking they could outrun the eye in the sky. But the Akinci wasn't fooled. It followed them all the way to the river, where the terrorists made their last
Where these
attempt to
terrorists
escape.
getting all these motorcycles?
Leaving their bikes behind, the attackers jumped into boats hoping to cross the river and disappear.
You blow up the
But even in the
motorcycles,
dark
then
of
you
night,
blow,
they couldn't
then you
hide.
blow their ass up in the
The
boat.
Akinci drone kept watching, using special cameras that could see in the dark. As the sun came up the next day,
Exactly,
Burkina
infrared.
Faso's military was ready for the next phase. Helicopters flew in, bringing tough soldiers called commandos. These special forces worked together with the drones, searching every hiding spot for any terrorist who might have slipped away. To make sure they caught everyone, the military brought in another drone, the Bayraktar TB2. This drone joined the Akinci, making
Catch
it
them,
even harder
and
for
you
any
wipe 'em out.
terrorists to escape. Together, these flying
Oh,
machines helped the
there's no
soldiers on the
living.
ground do their job
They're
better
all going to be
and safer.
unalive.
The commander in charge of the operation was proud of how well everyone worked together. He said, "The men are really making
want-
enormous efforts on the ground so that peace can return to
You want-
Burkina Faso.
You want
Despite
forgiveness,
the
you
losses
ask
that we
Allah.
suffer, we fight
I'm
with
going
the
to send you to
assurance that
Allah so he can forgive you,
populations
okay?
are behind us."
I'm going to send
This
you to
attack
Allah
in Manila
today
showed how much
so he can
Burkina
forgive
Faso's
you.
military had changed. Before, they struggled to protect people from terrorists. But
Not
now,
because they didn't have no
with
advanced
new
weaponry.
technology like these drones, they could respond quickly and effectively to threats. The drone
Africa with all this
Yeah,
old outdated ass, antiquated ass shit. Oh, outdated, antiquated ass shit in Africa. Nah, we need updated technology. And once I catch you, you can ask for forgiveness from Allah, because I'm sending you to him today. Okay? Today! You can ask forgiveness today, because you're going there today. Okay? You're
As
going
we come
today,
to the
goddammit.
as we come to the end, let me go through the comments. But that's the main reason. Literally, all this funded terrorism is the main reason why Africa does not control its own resources.
Exactly.
You know, because we lack also full men who can also just lead the country without being scared. This is the reason why we do not have, fully developed infrastructures. We have to take our resources all the way outside the continent of Africa so that it can be
Exactly.
refined, and we get it back in double the price and even triple the price when we have it for free.
Exactly.
So sad and crazy. But as we come to the end, shout out to John Mosquito, DJ Spy Kenya. Hope you're doing amazing. Jiba Jabba and Sanken on one more time, and everyone who's on the YouTube channel, on Rumble, on BitChute, on the show page, on the radio, on Spotify, on Spreaker. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. I see Jiba Jabba says if they had left Africa alone, they'd look like this. Exactly. And that's what I was saying. Even with the China Africa Summit currently ongoing, this is the 9th summit. Is what of the the current eight summits done for Africa in terms of development? None. And why are we still attending these summits, having the same discussion over and over again? And there's nothing.
Didn't attend it. Ibram Torre. I didn't have to go to that shit. I'm not. Let them puppets go to that shit and suck Chinese dick. I got.
Zaba also says also Ibrahim projects strength
Exactly.
just by his
He projects strength, and you can tell he doesn't look goofy. He's not no fucking root, no like no goofy Ruto, no goofy Mr. Even though all these African leaders look all retarded and fucked up and weak, Ibrahim looks like a goddamn. That's another reason why he got killed. He looks like a man. They don't want that image out there. He looks like a strong African man, which you have not seen in a while. Looks like a man, strong African man, a virile man. They don't want that image out there too. That's dangerous. Looks like a strong African man.
Yeah. But Zaba also says no balloon stomach on him. I know that's right. Yeah. He's dope. That's something personally. I'd be a second wife. I'm a jealous woman, but I'd be a second wife for Ibrahim because he knows how to take care of his people. Number one, that's a man over there, And I also see Jiba Jaba says, and now that is hope and change. A population can see, not like Obama's bullshit. I agree. He also says that at 10,000 kilometers range, they can patrol all North Africa, correct? And he also adds that I didn't know about the drone surveillance. That's great. Exactly. I bumped to that video and I had to pay attention to it. I loved it. I was like,
remember. Obama punk ass put that drone base that was in Niger, supposed to help terrorism. Those drones are more advanced than the ones Ibram got, but they never stopped any terrorism. They were there pretending because they're the terrorists. Remember, the drone base was right there in Niger. Niger finally shut it down and shit. They get these drones, get all this shit out of here. This shit ain't never helped us do nothing because it wasn't meant to. It was to make sure they keep you from killing their terrorists. All the ISIS, the Al-Qaeda, that's all the CIA shit. And people know it now. The Africans have been the motherfucking Al-Shabaab that always attacking Kenya. That's the CIA. Why they ain't got no drones in Kenya to kill the motherfuckers out and wipe their ass out? Why the government in Kenya ain't done that yet? Because they know the fuck is behind it. Al-Shabaab. All these fake ass names and shit. And Boko Haram, all that dumbass shit. You might as well say CIA. When you say Al-Shabaab, say CIA. When you say Boko Haram, say CIA. When you say ISIS, say CIA. Okay?
It's crazy.
That's
when
what it is.
When it comes to Africa, it's terrorism, diseases, whatever. But when it comes to America, it's conspiracy theories, when everything about America that is stated as facts is a conspiracy theory, but everything that is stated as facts in Africa is terrorism. It's crazy, man. It is just super insane. How
even as the white groups that one time Nigeria had some white mercenaries to go kill. They're about to wipe Boko Haram out, but Buhari was told by the CIA in America, hey, you've gone too far. We don't want them wiped out because that's their groups. You get it? So these Nigerian governments know what the fuck is going on. These puppets know. So they know damn this independent terrorist group without no money. Somebody's got no job. Somebody's got no businesses. They got money to be a terrorist and get weapons and run around and kill people and shit. What? Get out of here with that crazy shit.
It's crazy. But as we come to the end of today's conversation, thank you so much to everyone who's tuned in. It's been amazing. Hope you guys have learned something from that. Africa, again, you need to take full control, in charge of your resources, your country, everything. Like I said at the beginning of the show, it's sad how we thought politics is none of our business, but politics is literally our daily bread. Again, I'll use that term.
It's the main thing of life. Yeah, you got them. Yeah. It's just purpose to keep African ignorant. They ain't don't learn politics. Motherfucker, the politics is what represents me. Make sure I got clean water, good schools, money in my pocket. What are you talking about? How crazy this cat shit. Yeah, just going to church and pray.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, family. Thank you, Dracos. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to John Mosquito. Everyone who has been with us right here. Asanteni Sana, Byron Scott, and Sankenwan, all the amazing silent listeners.
What's up, family?
Replay. Download our app kindly. If you are here for the first time, ensure you subscribe. And
download the app so you can keep it going all day at Black Eye Fire Network.
Yeah.
Almost done. I'm almost done. Hey, Joe, we need to call me, Joby. Call me after the show. I gotta see something.
Okay. After I get lunch. Much love. I'm starving.
All right. Go get your damn lunch.
We must